It is Monday, May the 18th, and it's a hot one out there today. But just like the weather, we got a hot list of topics to go over tonight. So kick back, relax, because another installment of Unbiased is live, and it starts right now. Happy Monday, everyone, and welcome back into another edition of Unbiased, only here on 609 Sports Talk Radio, coming to you guys live tonight with the show that brings you all your unbiased, unscripted sports talk. And as always, we are your hosts, Sam Nelson, Tyler Adams. Tyler, how we doing tonight?
Hot.
That sounds about right. How was our weekend? How are the days off?
Hot.
Oh, it wasn't that bad yesterday. The weekend
Saturday was fine. Sunday,
It did get a little warm on Sunday. It's a scorcher one out there. I think we hit 96 over the next 2 days.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with that. After the winter that we had, I'm okay with a small little heat wave. Gets the blood flowing. I'm okay with it. Got back on the basketball court for the first time in a while this weekend. The knees are not happy with me. There's some words that
they didn't have to see me.
Yeah, no, trust me, that's not one of the things they fear. But if my knees could talk, I couldn't say the words they say to me on air. But look. Big show tonight. A lot of stuff to go over. Get to some NFL news later on in the show. We'll talk some Dolphins. We'll talk some Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll get into that later. We're going to start off with the NBA. We will give our conference championship series predictions. Western Conference Finals tip-off tonight at 8:30. The matchup we all have wanted to see is here. And then we will get into, so we'll give our picks on that. But we are going to start the show out with a little bit of an interesting subject. As we know, the Los Angeles Lakers were swept by the Oklahoma City Thunder this past round. And what could be possibly the end of the Los Angeles Lakers run of LeBron James. Now, LeBron has not given any indication that he does not want to play next year. It sounds like he wants to play at least a couple more years, it sounds like. LeBron is an unrestricted free agent heading into the 2026 offseason. And now we await what could be a very interesting summer, given the fact that LeBron is now in his 40s. Still a damn productive player at that age. If there are two athletes that I can say comfortably have gone up against Father Time and have won, it is probably LeBron James and Tom Brady.
100%.
However, the question will be how many teams and what teams will be interested in the future NBA Hall of Famer. I don't know if that list is a long list, but I will start with the team that he is leaving right now, Tyler. And we did run a poll question on the 609 Facebook page yesterday about this. And the results were very lopsided once again. Has LeBron James played his final game as a Laker? And a whopping 77% of the vote says yes, with 23% saying no. Tyler, kick us off. What do you think? Has LeBron James played his last game as a Los Angeles Laker? The floor is yours.
I believe that it is 100% true that he played his last game as a Laker. I think the writing's been on the wall the last couple of years there. There's kind of been like a disconnect almost between him, the front office. Yes, they did, make the move, traded AD away, brought in Luka. that saw them have a little bit of a better standing in the Western Conference, but not enough to really compete for a title. And, LeBron's 41. Now, for being 41, I mean, this past year put up, I'm rounded up, 21 points per game, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 51% from the field. I mean, that's still a great season compared to most of the players in the league. He's not in his age range, in his prime, where, those are his elite numbers. But the fact that a 41-year-old is putting up those types of numbers, being probably the second best scorer on the team behind Luka.
Oh, forget Austin Reeves now.
Yeah, I was going to say Austin Reeves is probably the only one, the next one closest. But yeah, I mean, so basically, yeah, he's like second, third scorer on the team. But that move that the Lakers made to bring Luka in, that wasn't a move that was let's win now with LeBron. Maybe that was a long shot in the back of their mind, but what it really was them solidifying their next superstar to really build around. It was never meant to be we're putting Luka to build around LeBron. They knew LeBron's time was coming to an end. They knew AD's time was already done. His time was up. And it was not now. So where do they go from here? With the void that LeBron James leaves, it also saves them some money because, like you said, it's a short list of teams that are going to be in the market for LeBron James because he's still going to command a decent contract for 41 years old. And not many teams are going to want to invest in that because it's basically like a 1 year, maybe a 2 year investment. Anthony, what's going on?
What's up, Anthony?
Says LeBron won't take a pay cut. I agree. LeBron was the third option, something he don't like. Yeah, I agree. And I mean that when they traded for Luka, I feel like that's the moment LeBron lost it as his team. It was no longer his team at that point. And I mean, it's not like they were super successful before they did that. They were kind of just trudging along. They were an average team in the Western Conference. That was it. They were long ways removed from dominating.
You could make the case that they were the fourth seed in the West this year, but you could make the case that this was probably their best year with LeBron outside of the bubble. But if you're looking at the overall body of work outside of the bubble season, which again, I don't like putting an asterisk on championships. I don't think it's fair. Somebody had to win. But if this was probably their best year with LeBron, I also agree with you that when they made the trade for Luka, the first thing I thought to my head, I'm like, this has nothing to do with maximizing what the time they have left with LeBron James. Mm-hmm. This is preparing them for life after LeBron James.
Yeah.
Because again, you're putting you already have a ball dominant superstar. Whether LeBron was 39 years old at the time or 40 or whatever, he is still a ball dominant superstar.
Yep.
So what do you do to add to it? You give him another ball dominant superstar who is coming off an NBA Finals run. And it never made sense unless the Lakers were thinking on moving on from LeBron, which I think has been a very realistic option because, let's be real, when LeBron James went to the Lakers, what was going on? The Lakers were just moving on from the Kobe Bryant era. Rest in peace, Mamba. But even in the final years of Kobe, the Lakers were in a territory that, as basketball fans, we are not used to. Like growing up, when you thought of the big bad dog in the West or the big bad dog in the NBA, it was the Lakers. It was Shaq. It was Kobe. It was Derek Fisher. It was Robert Orr. It was all these guys. Then you go even to the Kobe days after Shaq. It was Kobe. It was Bynum, Gasol, Ron Artest, or Meta World Peace, whatever you want to freaking call him. But like we have never seen the Lakers in a rebuilding stage like this, and it goes before that. The Lakers have never been looked at as a team that rebuilds. They look of a team that always has stars. Go back as far as Wilt Chamberlain and Elgin Baylor, Magic and Kareem. Again, I mean, like they've always been a team of dominance. They were a team that was looking for the next superstar to add to the Laker greats. LeBron wanted to go to California because he wanted to explore. Here's the thing. When LeBron James left Cleveland, when LeBron James was in Cleveland the first time, he never felt like the Cavs could produce a championship with how they were building their roster. Let's be 100% real. The Cavaliers roster construction, the first go-around with LeBron, utter disappointment.
Terrible.
You couldn't get anybody to play opposite of him that could take some of the load off LeBron's shoulders. No one could do it. LeBron James went to Miami to win championships, and he did that. I mean, they went to the finals every year he was there. They went to the NBA finals. They won 2 championships. I feel personally, I understand that the second go-around in Cleveland was impressive. I believe that Miami Heat LeBron is still the peak of his power. I think 2012, 2013 was the best you've ever seen from him. And he's had a lot of tremendous seasons. He's one of the 3 greatest basketball players you've ever seen step on a court. If you have him anywhere else in your top list, you are just blatantly one of 2 things. You grew up in the 90s and you're biased, which is fine. You don't have to have him at 1. I don't have to have him there. But athletically and what he does on a basketball court, he is one of the 3 best players we've ever seen. So either you grew up in the 90s and watched Jordan, or you just don't deserve to watch the sport of basketball. Or you could be like Skip Bayless, who has him at 9. There is no way on this planet there are 8 players better all time than LeBron James. There's no way. No shot. So, Anthony, are you new? What kind of debate? What are you new here?
Let's as long as we get to ignite Sam.
He may. Anthony, I like your thought process with this list, and I'm going to get into this in a minute.
I got some thoughts.
But the other issue with the Lakers, they are the Lakers. It is Lake Town. It is the Lakers show. It is Laker Nation. The Los Angeles Lakers are not going to let a superstar run their team.
I'm surprised they let it go on for so long.
The thing with LeBron James is when it came to Cleveland, both times, they let him dictate the show. Hell almighty, they basically let him fire David Blatt mid-season when they were the 1 seed, heading back to after an NBA Finals appearance, which the only reason, in my opinion, they lost that 2015 Finals to the Warriors, Kevin Love, separated shoulder, Kyrie Irving, fractured kneecap. LeBron James was only playing with his top 3 role players were Timothy Mozgov, Tristan Thompson, who, when Thompson moved to center the following finals, provided an impact on that team. I like Tristan Thompson for that team. And his other best players, J.R. Smith and Matthew Dellavedova. What in the world are you expecting? What are you expecting against the Warriors team of prime Steph, prime Clay, prime Draymond, Iguodala, Andrew Bogut? What do you expect to happen? LeBron could have averaged 50 in that finals and he still would have lost.
Yeah, basically.
Of course, I did watch a podcast the other day, and I was watching. Remember Brendan Haywood, the center who used to be with the Mavericks and the Wizards? Well, he was on that Cavs team.
Oh, really?
He was this is like the last year he was in the league. Do you remember the walk-off shot against Chicago in that postseason that LeBron just hit into the corner and hit the 2-pointer over Jimmy Butler?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember how there was always that controversy that LeBron drew up his own play? Well, he did. Because Haywood said when they got to the huddle, David Blatt originally drew the play up for J.R. Smith. And they said LeBron took the clip. I said, give me this damn thing.
Wow.
I mean, Kevin Love, LeBron James, Kyrie Irving draws up play for J.R. Smith.
I mean, to be fair, J.R. Smith was the sharpshooter of the team.
Okay. All right. So, look, I want to continue on this LeBron thing, but this is a very good question.
Oh, man. I feel like we touched on this a little bit. Maybe, was it last week's show?
No, we didn't talk anything about the Lakers last week, really. Oh, let's do this again. Let's look at the greatest Lakers of all time, and we'll put our stamp on it. I'm not going to put this in order because you could put this in a bunch of different orders. But
yeah,
when you talk of all time great Lakers, who do you think? Kobe, Wilt, Magic, Kareem, Shaq.
Yeah, Shaq, I'd put in there.
That's 5 already. Jerry West.
Yeah, because, I mean, you thinking of Laker greats.
The guy's the logo of the freaking league.
Yeah.
James Worthy. I mean, Elgin Baylor didn't win any championships in LA, but it's still a damn good Laker.
Yeah, I'd say it might start to get in that territory where you do consider LeBron.
Okay. I got one more name. It's a little off of a name, but I want to see your thoughts on it. What about Pau Gasol?
Oh, man. Paul Gasol was a great elite role player.
Became the number 2 option behind Kobe.
Yeah. Oh, man. How many years did Gasol spend there again? Hold on.
Gasol was with the Lakers from 2008, 2009 up until I feel like it was 2013, 2014 because I remember it because the Bulls team that the Cavs beat that year, he was on. He went to Chicago after that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. That's a tough one. I think I'd still go LeBron, though.
All right, so Anthony said top 10. Of your Lakers top 10, where do you have him?
Let's see. How many did you say up until Elgin Baylor? Was that 7?
Yeah.
6 or
Kobe.
7?
Hold on. Wilt. Well, here, tell me if you would put them over LeBron again, real quick. Kobe.
Yes.
Wilt.
Yes.
Shaq.
Yes.
Jerry West.
Yes.
Magic.
Yes.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yes.
James Worthy.
Yes.
Elgin Baylor.
I think that's where I slot LeBron in.
So LeBron is like in that 8 to 10 range.
Yeah, he's like my low end of the top 10. Because the other ones, I don't really have to think about it. But when I start to have to think about it...
Honorable mention, Carlos Boozer.
Man.
He spent like 2 years.
We're doing honorable mention. Where's Meta World Peace at?
Hey, at least Meta won a championship in Los Angeles.
He did. So you got to think about it. I mean, LeBron, he didn't just spend, like 4 years in LA. I mean, he's played 8 years there. And depending on whatever happens during the free agency period, maybe he spends more time in LA. So it's not like he just, stopped by real quick and dipped out.
Again, he's won the Lakers a championship. Again, I don't care. Keep your opinions on it to yourself. I don't care about what happened during the pandemic and all in the bubble. Somebody had to win the NBA Finals that year.
Yep. Wish it was the Heat.
Because you know what? I'm just saying, if we went back in time and we had this situation in the 90s, you would hear it all over ESPN. To come into a situation like the bubble where you're isolated from everybody, for Michael Jordan to win that title is a legend. That's what you would hear.
Yep.
And we're still putting those kind of expectations on LeBron to this day. Were any other NBA players put under that much scrutiny at age 41?
No. They just got to chill and play basketball.
Michael Jordan could barely walk on it, had to get his knee drained almost after every game at age 41. And now, but LeBron's still expected to average 30, 10, and 10 at 41 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, look, does he have a losing finals record? Yes. The guy's won 4 NBA championships.
But it's still just to be in them, though. Like, I've always been one to hate that argument. Oh, he's lost so many finals. It takes a lot to get there, too. It's not like he hasn't won a single one, or he only has won it once and lost 8 times.
The guy had a stretch of making the NBA Finals for like 7 to 8 years in a row.
Yeah.
I am not ignorant enough to forget the greatness that LeBron James has showed us over his entire career. I mean, this is 23 years of pure dominance. You will never see another player played at this level for 23 straight years.
No, you won't.
The guy has literally been one of the greatest. Michael Jordan didn't even show this level for 23 years. Jordan barely showed it for 15.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not taking that's not against Jordan. I mean, back then, your body took a beating in the NBA. So I don't want to make it sound like I'm anti-Michael Jordan. First of all, Michael Jordan is the greatest player to ever step on a basketball court.
Oh, Derek Fisher.
Boy. Derek, Anthony, we're at that point. Well, Jerry West, no. I have Jerry over LeBron.
I gotta see. I mean, Derek Fisher was just a Laker for a long time. That's really about it. I mean, he was always the role-playing point guard. He wasn't ever franchise altering though.
I would hope you have 5 rings from playing with Kobe and Shaq all those years.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, I'm not. Look, Derek Fisher. I know we're talking about Lakers, but come on, we're getting into a very dangerous situation here. We're talking about role players. We're not even like Jerry West. I give you. I put Jerry ahead of LeBron. He's the logo of the freaking league, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
So I'll give you Jerry. I'm not giving you Derek Fisher. Because now we're getting into the role player category, and that's a dangerous argument because that could get ugly and get ugly real quick.
Because that's just basically calling LeBron a role player.
Yeah, which he's not.
Not at all.
Back though, I think we are entering I think we have seen him wear the Laker jersey for the last time because again, there's been headbutting in that relationship between him and Jeannie Buss before she gave up basically her ownership of the team. Yeah. The Lakers are not an organization that is going to let a star player dictate their outcome. Yes, I know Magic Johnson signed a 25 years contract for life to be the partial owner. That was back in the freaking 80s. But the Lakers have felt they've done enough for him. He wanted AD, they got him AD. He wanted Danny Green, they got him Danny Green. He wanted his son, they got him his son. And that's what a waste of a draft pick that was.
Yeah. That was the final straw. I was shocked they did that. Really shocked.
Well, he said it on draft night. If the Lakers weren't taking Bronny, nobody was.
Yeah, basically. And we see the reason why.
Yeah. But if you look at the way that the Lakers have always run, they're not going to let LeBron James get the final say. And again, the Luka trade to me was always made more about the Lakers pursuing stuff in the future outside of LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
Because wherever LeBron goes from here on out, it's going to probably be his last stop. I think he wants to get to that 25-year mark and then call it a career.
Yeah.
Because if you go back and look at the trade again, people talked about, like, oh, this could be an interesting fit. Which one of these guys are you asking to sit? Luka, stand on the perimeter, spot up. LeBron, sit in the corner, spot up. What? You're literally almost asking two of the same player to play with each other, because they are the guy that needs the ball in their hands. They're going to put up 25, 10, and 10, and it's going to be a ridiculous show. However, you can't always have it like that.
I'm going to say something here. Say it, don't speak. I'm going to say something here. Ben Simmons offered way more valuableness on a basketball court than Bronny. I can say that with confidence.
I don't think there's any – first of all, wow, do we have to clip that? I don't think there's a debate on if Ben Simmons was a bad basketball player. He was just a basketball player that didn't want to develop his game. We don't even think Bronny's a good basketball player.
No.
He's not even – like, Ben Simmons was an elite defender. Can we agree?
Yeah.
Elite. Like, I'm talking top tier. He was guarding the best player. After that freaking Kawhi Leonard bounce, which, by the way, the anniversary of that was last week, he made it his pride to be an elite defender. He wanted to guard the best player on the court. He even without a jump shot and a poor free throw shot, he would give you on a good night 18, 10, and 10, and awesome defense. That is a Bronny. You're lucky if Bronny can give you a solid 10 minutes.
Bronny's going to get you a solid point and a half.
Oh, my God.
Point and a half a game.
Bronny is not an NBA basketball player, and the quicker that people start realizing that.
I do believe LeBron James will have one son that is successful in the NBA. That son was never going to be Bronny.
No, it's Bryce is the better basketball player.
Yes. I think he's going to be a problem when he gets to the league.
Yeah, I think Bryce could be a decent player. Bronny is not a good basketball player. And like I said, the quicker that we understand that, the better off we'll be. So, by the way, cue up. We got some breaking news.
Uh-oh.
Spurs point guard De'Aaron Fox out for game 1 with an ankle sprain.
Ooh, that's rough.
The Spurs are already taking a hit.
Well, as long as they got Wemby, that's definitely going to hurt them. I mean, who's guarding Shea?
I would have been concerned with who's guarding Shea if De'Aaron Fox even played.
Yeah.
Back onto this LeBron thing, the marriage, like you said, I think a lot of it had to do with the other problem with the AD situation, AD was awesome for the Lakers when he was able to play. But again, this is Anthony Davis's career in a nutshell. When he's available, he's a top 5 player in the league. The problem is he's never available. No, he's not Joe. He's actually, in that aspect, he's better than Joel. I would much rather have taken my shots on Anthony Davis's peak than Joel's. And, people can call me an idiot. That's fine. Joel Embiid can barely play 30. At least Anthony Davis will get me 50. So we can have that discussion for another day. And if you guys want to call me a Joel Embiid traitor, I sat here with this man as my eyewitness. I sat here for a decade defending him.
Man, it's been that long?
he's been a Sixer since 2014. You just forget because he missed the first. You just forget because he broke. Yeah, you broke because he broke his foot in his first year. Then he didn't recover right, and he didn't wear a boot, and he broke it again. Anthony, I don't.
He's not.
No, he's 41 years old.
And I mean, here's the fine line that you have to walk when talking about LeBron James. He's not in his prime anymore. It's impressive how well he's still playing at his age, but he's almost transformed into another phase of his career. Because, and I hope LeBron doesn't think that he's the number one player on any team, because he can't perform like that night in, night out anymore. He needs other guys around him. And there's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, LeBron James literally just this past year was his worst scoring season since like his rookie year, and he averaged 21. Like even before this, the last couple years, he was still averaging 24, 25.
Yeah.
Even just a few years ago, he was averaging still 29, 30 a game. Like LeBron James is just now starting to hit a little bit of a wall. But even though this year that just passed, yes, he did only have averaged 21 points a game, but he still averaged 6 rebounds, 7 assists, and still shot 51% from the field. Like, that is ridiculous.
It's very impressive.
Like, LeBron is literally still he's still one of the greatest players to ever live. I just don't want to see that. I don't like to see the guys go from that to then they're averaging like, oh, I'm averaging 12 points a game. That's what I don't want to say. But again, with the way that LeBron takes care of himself and his body, I'm not surprised that he's still averaging this over 20 points a game this late in his career. The guy prides on taking care of himself.
Yeah.
It's again, that's no shot, but let's be real. Mike was out there smoking and gambling and drinking. Mike lived off the court well. We know what Mike did. Played a lot of golf too. It's kept him in shape, but a lot of them guys back in the 80s and 90s, the reason they only lasted about 12 to 15 years because they enjoyed the life off the court. Trust me, that's nothing wrong with that. I'm not knocking it. But LeBron is a physical specimen. It's been known that since he was drafted.
Yep.
Well, yeah, and I think it's not just with the situation with Luka. I think the Austin Reeves situation, I think because you remember Rich Paul and LeBron's representation was trying to involve themselves and say, oh, is Austin Reeves a good player? Should we keep him? Should we get rid of him? It's like, whoa. Rich, you don't run nothing over here, buddy. You don't run. Oh, hold on. You're an agent. Stay on the agent side of this thing. We'll worry about the basketball part of it. And Austin Reeves is actually a pretty damn good player.
He is. They got a good one there.
They asked the question, could Austin Reeves be the second best player on a championship team? I think he can. I mean, this past year, he only played 51 games. He was banged up a little bit. He averaged 23 points per game, shot 49% from the field, shot 36% from three.
Yep.
Averaged 20 a game in the playoffs coming back from injury. Now, the shooting numbers were great, but Anthony,
they wanted to experiment bringing in another scoring big. But Ayton hasn't been that since a long time ago, it feels like, in Phoenix.
I mean, he averaged 12 and a half points this past year and 8 rebounds. That was exactly what you were probably going to get from him.
Yeah.
That was another fit I didn't understand. I know they needed a center. I get it. But there's the Lakers, with the way they were currently constructed this past year, needed one of two types of bigs. Either you need a big man that's going to run the floor, grab rebounds, block shots, and just be a really...
You don't want me to say a name that the Lakers might take a look into.
Go ahead.
Giannis.
No.
Well, what's your reason for saying no? That you don't want to see it? or that it
Why?
wouldn't work.
That's a nut.
So honestly, that could be a presence down low in the post, and also Luka Doncic likes to play with bigs that are athletic and that he can throw oops to. He does not currently have that on this roster.
Giannis isn't a center.
He doesn't need to be a center.
You do understand that if what you're trying to say is that they will get dominated in the paint by teams.
They can.
So
What's Aiton's contract?
Hold on. We just made the case that to move off of one of the greatest basketball players that has ever played this game that we've watched, they're going to replace him with a guy who's had one great year in his career. I don't give a crap what his numbers say. The guy has one championship and has been hurt more than he's not since that championship. And once again, not a good fit.
Yeah, it's debatable.
Where's Giannis getting his touches? Where is Giannis getting his touches?
When Luka has to pass the ball.
Oh, you're going to pass to Giannis in the corner? Oh, God, you're hilarious. Giannis needs to go to a team that doesn't have a superstar.
That's why he'll be on Miami.
It's fine. That's fine.
Just don't be surprised if they take a look.
I wouldn't be either. I said that. But no, and Anthony's right. I'm in the same boat with Anthony. You can't. Luka and Giannis doesn't work. Luka, yes, he shoots well from three. That's not playing off ball. He doesn't play well off the ball. A lot of his three shots are caused from his own dribbling separation. Then you're taking the ball out of Austin Reeves' hands. I like the Lakers. The only thing I don't like about the Lakers combination of Reeves and Luka is defensively, they're probably overmatched. However, as long as you nail the other three positions, a point guard who can play the position on the defensive end and shoot the ball well from three. Like I said, you need a center. One of two things. You either need a center who grabs rebounds, blocks shots, runs the floor, grabs offensive rebounds, and just protects the paint. Or you need a big who can block shots, grab rebounds, and space the floor from three, like how Cat does. Not saying Cat's the guy. I'm just saying that's one of the two centers you need for guys like LeBron, like Luka. That's how you build around them. And then you need a power forward / wing who can still play well defensively, can guard multiple positions, and can space the damn floor. That's how you're going to build around Luka and Austin Reeves. They need to be around three good defenders who can shoot the basketball.
So who's the ideal big?
That's for them to figure out. The center position is dying in the NBA.
Speak for yourself.
It is. There's not if you could give me the 10 best centers, there's a drastic drop off from 5 on.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
It's a dying position. But honestly, he's not going to be available. But Isaiah Hartenstein, that's the perfect example. That is a center that I would have on my team. The guy does all the dirty work that a team needs. But like I said, I think a lot of that relationship in LA with LeBron got just, again, he likes to have a lot of say in things. The Lakers are like, do you see what we've done in this organization? You got 4 championships. We're damn near tied for tops in the NBA's history of championships. Does it really look like we listen to superstars around here? Like, they've built multiple dynasties. The Magic days, the Kobe days, the Kobe and Shaq, the days before the Kobe and Shaq, then the post-Shaq. Like, they've won championships with every superstar regime you could think of. And in the times they failed, they failed. Of course, they tried the dream team with Karl Malone and Gary Payton. They ran to the Pistons. Then, unfortunately, they tried Kobe, Dwight Howard, and Steve Nash. That was an utter failure. But they've hit it. I mean, again, 80s, Shaq and Kobe with Gasol and Bynum, LeBron and AD, still won a championship. LeBron's done a lot of good for the Lakers. There's no denying that. It's just, again, there is a disconnect when a superstar wants to have that type of control over a team, and the team's like, joke's on you because it ain't happening. And again, that you said it before, right as we opened the show up. The Luka trade was more of life after LeBron than maximizing what's left. Now, speaking of which, let's go over to LeBron's side. You're a free agent. You're 41 years old. You're probably 2 years away. Anthony, they do. Wendell Carter's fine. They also like to run some of those weird lineups with Wagner playing center. It gives them a mismatch there offensively. It gives Banchero some more room to operate. But Wendell Carter's serviceable. Like, he's not great, but he's serviceable. The Magic need a coach. By the way, how did Mosley get hired before the Magic even started their search?
No idea.
You know, it's funny when that news broke that the Pelicans hired him. George texted me. He said, "Oh, look, breaking news on a Monday." I said, "No, that's just news from an already broken franchise." What a joke. Let's go back to Anthony's comment a little bit ago. His list for potential LeBron landing spots, he has Knicks, Cavs, Warriors, Wizards.
I want to start with the Cavs because while it would be kind of almost like a storybook scenario for LeBron, I don't think the Cavs should do it. What do they have to sacrifice on that team to bring LeBron in for a year? Mind you, we're already talking about a team that's currently in the Eastern Conference Finals. So, do they really need to add 41-year-old LeBron James?
I think a lot of that will be determined. I know it's going to sound ridiculous, but again, he is still LeBron James, and this is a scenario that is perfect for him because this would be the first time he would be able to go to Cleveland and not have to be the best player on the floor every night. Because here is the big ticket with LeBron. You don't have to do a trade. You don't have to do a signage. I mean, somebody will try to figure out a sign and trade so the Lakers can say, "Oh, well, we want to get something in return." Yeah, kick rocks. If you want the guy back so bad, you should have re-signed him. But if you look at the Cavs with the way they're currently constructed, I have no idea if they're going to be able to compete with the Knicks in this series. I really don't. I could see this series going down in 5, and I hate saying that. But we're going to get to that in a little bit. Donovan Mitchell is the best player on that team. Evan Mobley is the up-and-coming youngster of that team. Saw what he did in Game 7. I've only been saying it the entire series. That's how they were going to win. You still have James Harden. But then, Anthony, that I'm not doing it. I would trade Jarrett Allen before I would trade Evan Mobley.
Yeah.
And they also have the shooters.
If they had to move on from somebody, probably would be Jarrett Allen.
And then, of course, we'd have to see what would this mean for the future of James Harden in Cleveland. Because, I mean, they made that trade with Darius Garland. But either way, this would be the first time LeBron could go to Cleveland, not have to be the best player every single night. Donovan Mitchell could be that. Evan Mobley could be that. They have some decent shooters, with Merrill, Dean Wade. Tyson developed his three-point game a little bit this year. I won't lie. If you put LeBron on this Cavs team, I think this could be one of the more well put together teams because it's a bunch of guys that fit LeBron's style. Mobley's a big who's an excellent defender. He stretches the floor. Mitchell, of course, is that scoring first guard. They have wings that can knock down perimeter shots. Max Strus is also on there. I keep forgetting that he's there still. I could see it. Now, again, what are the futures of guys like, I don't know if James Harden, LeBron James will coexist. I don't know how that plays. Donovan Mitchell alone is already an interesting one, but I don't think Harden and him fit together at all. But I mean, I'm not trying to be rude here, but if I'm the Cavs, and if I'm picking between James Harden and the guy who's responsible for my franchise's last championship and my franchise is relevant, I mean, this is probably the best stretch of Cavs basketball since LeBron's been off the team.
It is.
So, and Anthony, that's okay. He's 41 years old. It's okay to be the third option when you're 41 years old. But if he wants to maximize the last few years he has here, and the last few that he has in the NBA, he's no longer the number one option on a team. He's no longer, he's probably not even the number, if he's on number two, he's on a bad team. Yeah. And it's not taken away from LeBron. But again, you're 41. There's a lot of miles on that body. You've been the best player in the league for 20 plus years. So the Cavs fit, like I said, I like it depending on how is the roster constructed. You're going to have to get rid of somebody, probably a Jared Allen. They're not getting rid of Evan Mobley. I would not do that in a heartbeat. Evan Mobley is one of the most underappreciated basketball players in the NBA, and I am not getting rid of him. Get rid of Jared Allen. You move Mobley over to center. Then you're running with what? James, Mobley, Mitchell, Strus. And then, I mean, depending on what happened, would you still bring Harden back? Would you go sign someone who plays more off ball? I don't know there. But I could see, I think Cleveland is the most realistic option because, again, I think he will eventually want to end up home. I think he wants to end it at home.
Yeah, I can definitely see him. Honestly, Cleveland's the only team I could see him possibly taking a slight pay cut. Not a big one.
But not $50 million a year.
Nah, not $50 million a year.
I mean, look, I'm not upset with the Lakers giving him that much a year. He is worth LeBron is worth every penny of the $50 million. Look, LeBron took pay cuts for years to put together teams in Miami and Cleveland.
Yeah.
But so I'm not, look, it's like the last few years of all these Hall of Famers. They earned every dime of it. What other possible landing spots are there? Of course, there's still the option of possibly returning to LA, which I'm not sure how realistic it is. I think LeBron would like to stay in LA. I just don't think the Lakers will. Or I think the Lakers are just done.
Well, according to Paul Pierce, he should just retire.
Well, according to Paul Pierce needs to stop talking. I mean, I don't know. Again, he's risky. I know what he wants. He wants to get to 25 years. That is literally a quarter of a century of playing elite basketball. And I know that's what he wants. And if he can maximize 2 more years of his life where he can go on an NBA court and have a shot at the championship, whether it's in Cleveland, because if you put LeBron back on that Cavs team, you're going to have to move some pieces. Yes, Jared Allen is one of them. Yes, possibly James Harden is the other. But LeBron James in the last 2 years of his career with Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, guys like that, I think there is a shot there that he could get his 5th championship. Because the East is not a juggernaut, let's be real.
No, the East would be probably his easiest chance of getting back to a final.
I mean, look what the 4th seed in the West gets you.
Basically.
The 4th and 10th seed in the West are separated by 5 games at the most. It's a bloodbath in the Western Conference. And you're getting up there in age and you're going up against the young Oklahoma City Thunder, which have won a championship and are a dynasty in the making. You're going up against young Wemby and this ridiculous Spurs team. You're going up against Joker and the Nuggets. You're going up against the Rockets with all their young players. You're going against Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves. There are so many good teams in the West. How are you ever going to get back to a finals?
I'm going to say another team, if he decides to stay in the West. I heard that the Warriors have kept tabs on him. Now, it's not super realistic. I mean, trying to make a contract work for LeBron, good luck. I mean, they're still paying Jimmy Butler, still paying Steph all that money. But is that going to really give LeBron a good chance of winning a championship? 5 years ago, yeah.
Here's where I'm at with the Warriors. Anthony, by the way, what do you got in those trade packages? Shoot us the comments. I want to see it. The Warriors want to do anything possible to maximize the remaining years of the core of what they have with Steph Curry and Draymond Green.
Yeah.
Anthony Garland already got traded. They traded him to the Clippers for Harden, unless there's a deal involving the Clippers. Which, again, if Jared Allen's the centerpiece getting traded, that's fine. Good center. Another definition of a center who I like in today's NBA, but too much. You can only have so many freaking players.
Yeah.
But now back to Golden State. Golden State makes a lot more sense than what you think they do, because the fact that they are trying. Steve Kerr does not like young players. Steve Kerr does not like young players. They want to have the best shot at least one more championship for Steph and Draymond. Now, however, the problem is being an old team in this league doesn't get you much. I mean, here's the Warriors roster. You have Steph, you have DeAnthony Melton, Moses Moody, Gary Payton, Brandon Polzemski. Yeah, I mean, Jimmy Butler, Draymond, Kristaps Porzingis, Al Horford. Oh my God!
They got a team where only one player actually played every single game.
This was 2016. This would be one of the best teams in the league. So, like, I get the Warriors are going to want it, and they're another team that could be interested in Giannis. But what are you offering the Bucks? Except decent draft capital. My God.
Yeah.
But if I'm LeBron, I would go home. Now, the other two teams that Anthony brought up there, the Wizards, there's no way he's going to the Wizards.
Not a chance.
Trae Young and Anthony Davis at this point in their careers is not enticing enough for me. They have a bunch of young talent, but that's basically just LeBron ending the Jordan era there. Oh, let me end in Washington like Mike did. I'm good off that. And the other team that he brought in was the Knicks. I don't think the Knicks need LeBron James.
That's a team that really does not need LeBron James. Because like you said, Cleveland, they might be outmatched currently in this matchup against the Knicks. The Knicks are probably going to the
there's not a chance they are. They 100% are outmatched.
Hey, I'm not losing 100% faith in the Cavs, all right? But yeah, if there's a team that did not need the services of LeBron James,
I would tell you right now, the Lakers would be an amazing team in this with this package.
If I'm a Knicks fan, I call for everyone to be fired.
And see, Anthony just brought this up, and it made me think this is why this SOB is going to demand a sign and trade. Because look at the bottom. Look who he's going to want to bring with him.
Yeah.
He's not going to let Bronny sit in LA by himself. That's the other problem that I have.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But oh my God, if I was a Knicks fan, I would go and, oh my God, Madison Square Garden being up in flames. I mean, just think of this, right? Luka, Austin Reeves, Mitchell Robinson, OG Anunoby. Just say for S&Gs, right? Just say Marcus Smart was their starting point guard. Now, he's not the point guard. He's just on the defensive end. A defensive end of OG, Mitchell Robinson, and Marcus Smart surrounding Austin Reeves and Luka. Dude, that is literally exactly the type of team I'm trying to put around those two. Like, that is sick. But if I'm a Knicks fan, I'm burning the Garden to the ground if that ever happens. That's a terrible trade. And the only other good, the only other player you get back in it with LeBron is his son, who can't play more than a minute in an NBA game. I'm good.
As a Knicks fan, I'd just be mad getting his son in the trade.
Mike Brown would resign. I'm not doing this again. I think the Cavs are just the most realistic option.
They probably are.
Let him go out, go home. I think they would have a decent shot at the title in the East with him. If you're putting him around Mitchell, who is one of the best scoring guards in the league, Mobley, who's one of the best two-way bigs. Oh, I knew there was going to be somebody to say this, and there he is.
Man.
What's up, Zolt?
What's up, Zolt? Which league
We're
is he
gonna
going over to? Spanish league? Russian
he's
league?
going to play. He's going to play AAA. No, he's going to play
basketball?
AAA baseball for the Guardians.
Oh man.
Okay, so this one. I don't know how much. First of all, Kyrie Irving. I don't know if Kyrie ever wants to play with LeBron again. Gafford to the Lakers, love it. Caleb Martin, I don't know about that. That contract's looking pretty bad. Klay Thompson, if this was 4 years ago, 100%. But getting PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford to be in the front court behind the Lakers are making out better in these trade packages than the team that gets LeBron.
Basically, yeah. But that's still the type of player LeBron James is.
Would you sign and now wait? If there's a sign and trade, would they do a sign and trade Bron and Bronny for Allen and Harden? Because I'm not trading Mobley. I'm not trading Mitchell.
Yeah. Like if you look at expendable pieces, Allen and Harden, they're the two.
I mean, Harden, and here's the thing. I know we're talking about the Lakers with Luka and Reeves, but the Lakers technically don't have a point guard. Harden has been lately giving up the ball duties to guys like Mobley and Mitchell. Would he be? Yeah. And he's not the greatest off-ball guy, but he's a better off-ball player than what LeBron is. But now again, Harden, Reeves, and Luka. Good Lord, who is playing defense on that team?
It's just a shootout.
We're just going to chuck 33s with 3 players and hope 15 of them go in.
Yep.
Or could you get a third team involved and reroute Harden somewhere else? That's the only other possible option I have in my head right now.
So, what triggers a sign and trade in the NBA?
Teams that don't want to lose a player in free agency for nothing.
Still don't get it.
That's above my pay grade.
Because I'm just like, if he's not signed to the team, why can't he just go?
I have never understood the NBA's offseason. I don't get their salary cap. I don't get their sign-in trades. I get none of it.
I get it if you have like a distinction, like a restricted free agent or an unrestricted free agent. Restricted gives teams the ability to, retain them and do sign-in trades, but I don't know how the contracts work.
And then you got the salary cap with the 3 max contracts. Yeah. You have the mid-level exception. You have the taxpayers mid. I don't know. We're not
tax. Yeah, too much going on.
I'm just going to throw out an idea here.
Don't even say the 76ers. Oh, dear God.
No. I'm trying to get rid of my max level 30-year-olds. We're talking about reunions. Would he consider going back to a place that was very helpful in winning him his
keep his old ass in Cleveland? No. I'm sorry.
I'm just asking.
Love you,
just
LeBron. He is not the superstar they need to compete in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah,
because it'll only be for a year.
It's going to be for 2. So stop with the year. It's going to be for 2. He wants to hit 25. He's at 23.
He wants to, but is the body going to let him?
I'm just asking a question. I didn't say this was.
I think I answered your question already.
I mean, Miami does have some young players. They've got Bam. They've got Hero. The only thing you just have to make sure. See, and the reason that this won't happen is because Pat Riley says, I'm signing you. I'm not signing and trading for your damn son.
Your son stays in L.A.
I will bring Terry Rozier back on my team before I bring your damn son on it. Hey. And you can gamble on that.
You should have just said you can bet on that.
Bet on it, gamble on it, same thing. I was just asking because honestly, LeBron, Bam, Hero,
no.
Jaquez,
no.
I'm just all right. Okay. It was just a thought that popped up in my head. I was just curious to see what your thought was.
Definitely no. If it has to be some sort of sign and trade, definitely no. Stay away.
No, because then what scares me into that is also because, I mean, that's going to have to involve someone like a Wiggins or a Norman Powell. And honestly, if I'm the Heat, I am not giving up Norman Powell for what he just did for me.
Nope, not at all. There's a reason they brought him in. Now, he's not a superstar like a number 1 player on a team, but at number 2 scoring option, yeah, sign me up for that.
Number 3, in my opinion, if Hero and Bam are both healthy, but number 2, if Hero misses time.
Yeah.
Wiggins has carved out a nice role in Miami. Okay, I was just asking. I was just a question.
Keep LeBron away.
Okay.
He came, he saw, he's not allowed to return.
It's not that. It's
Pat Riley says so.
Yeah, well, I mean, Pat Riley, they wanted him back, but again, then there's the reports that they didn't find out till like right before he was about to go back to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Like no one even knew. It's like, all right.
I'm sure Pat's still probably a little burned by that situation.
Well, Pat Riley's another guy that wasn't going to let LeBron run the show.
Yeah.
Because he didn't care for, like, they had their input on who they wanted. Like when they said, hey guys, we have a chance to sign Ray Allen. Who the hell wouldn't sign Ray Allen?
Yep. But yeah, no. I'm good.
It's a shame they were all like kind of older in their time because man, they had some shooters between Allen and Shane Battier and Mike Miller.
Oh.
Do you remember how bad Shane Battier was in the 2013 playoffs until Game 7 of that finals where he hit like 6 threes? He was so bad. And the problem was with Battier, that Heat team was so small with Chris Bosh playing center and Battier playing like power forward or like because Udonis Haslem's body was even breaking down on him at that point. He wasn't the same UD was from the post-LeBron era because with post-LeBron, Udonis was a solid player. But they were just so – and then Mike Miller had one of the greatest finals games ever and he could barely walk. But yeah, they did a lot for a team that was really undersized. Especially against those Pacers teams that beat them up.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, that's how they got around it, that small ball.
Yeah, but David West and Roy Hibbert used to beat them up.
Oh, yeah.
You got Paul George, prime George Hill, if George Hill ever did have a prime. They were some fun teams. Frank Vogel had a good team out there. But I'm going to go to the poll question one last time. I'm going to give my final answer. I think LeBron definitely has played his last game as a Laker. Bold prediction, I think he goes home one more time. I think he ends it all in Cleveland.
It makes sense.
Only other team I think would be an option is the Warriors because of what they want to do, trying to maximize getting Steph possibly and Draymond one more ring. But I just don't see the fit. You know, when the finals wrap up in a few weeks from now, we will have an NBA offseason preview. I want to hear some ideas for the Rockets and what's going on with Kevin Durant. Will he stay on the Rockets? I wouldn't know about what Giannis will be doing. Where would he go? We got a lot of NBA offseason stuff that's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting NBA offseason.
Speaking of which, though, let's get into the conference finals because Game 7 last night, if you're watching still, I need to know what the hell happened last night in Detroit.
Lack of experience? I don't know.
I think what I said about Cade Cunningham and the Pistons came to fruition. If someone has a bad night, can Cade save them by himself? The answer was no.
Yep.
Tobias Harris, once again, with his typical Tobias Harris disappearance act, 0 for 6 shooting in a Game 7.
But Duncan Robinson had 13.
Duncan Robinson, and he was banged up. That's why he was coming off the bench. He was a little dinged up toward the end of the series. Jalen Duren, what happened? I mean, props to Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. They took him completely out of the series.
Well, that's what happened. You're playing against two centers.
Two very good centers defensively.
Yeah, exactly. Good luck.
And what did Mobley do? Didn't he have like 21 and 12 last night in Game 7?
Yep.
Who said last Monday the only way the Cavs are going to win this series is if they get Evan Mobley more involved? Because, let's be real, Game 7, I'll tell you who didn't show up.
Yep. It was both of the bigs. Like, Mitchell, he had a good game. That's what you expect from him. But the fact that you got 23 from Jared Allen and 21 from Mobley, that's what sealed it. Because they were unstoppable.
Yeah, and I mean, it also doesn't hurt when Sam Merrill gives you 23 off the bench.
Oh yeah, 7 for 10 from the field, 5 for 8 from 3. Just like you couldn't miss. But yeah, Mr. Harden. There's nothing to say about it. It's James Harden. We know who he is at this point. You know, this is nothing new. He's not the best player. He's not one of the top 3 players on the team. You could argue third, but you get my point. He doesn't have to be lights out every night. You know, he can have a bad game and they'll still win convincingly.
Let me ask you a question. Does LeBron James go for a stat line like James Harden last night in Game 7?
Not at all. Not a chance. LeBron probably finishes with, like, at worst, 18, probably shoots some free throws, maybe close to 50% from the field, not shooting 2 for 10, and 0 for 6 from 3. Jeez.
Yeah, Zol, I agree with that. I think it was a team they were a high energy team. They played really strong nose defense, and it looked like a team that ran out of gas.
Yep.
But my biggest issue in this series, first, it's not Tobias Harris. Zol, I will give you a friendly warning. This is the Tobias Harris you're going to get in the playoffs. Biggest moment on the line. It's never going to change with him. The biggest issue was the Cavaliers taking Jalen Duren out of the series. I mean, just for the playoffs. This is the entire postseason. Mm-hmm. Because remember, the Pistons also needed 7 games to get through the Magic.
Yep.
Which probably would have eliminated the Pistons if not for one of the worst offensive halves of basketball I've ever seen. But the Pelicans decided to make that guy their next head coach. That's a smart decision. Jalen Duren in the regular season, 19.5 points, 10.5 rebounds on 65% shooting from the field. Postseason, the entire postseason, points go down from 19.5 to 10.2. Rebounds go down from 10.5 to 8.5. Blocks actually went up from 0.8 to 1.2. Field goal percentage drops 14% from 65 to 51. That's the biggest problem here. They needed Jalen Duren was their second best option outside of Cade Cunningham for the entire season, and he just didn't produce. Now, granted, credit to the friggin' Cavs. They have the defensive front court that they can take a guy out of that series, and they're going to need to be big upcoming in the Eastern Conference Finals because Cat is playing out of his mind right now. But I just don't understand. Like, that's what killed them. Because, again, Duncan Robinson, good role player. Tobias Harris, good role player till you get to an elimination game. Ashar Thompson, excellent defender. Offense. I mean, dude, do you see how they play Ashar Thompson? They are literally stepping 12 feet away from him because they know he's not going to shoot the basketball.
It's like Ben Simmons.
Yeah, but Thompson, at least Simmons, offers something as a playmaker.
Yeah.
And it was willing
he was
to
always
drive
a good
to the
facilitator.
basket.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's another thing also I want to say with Ben Simmons. Going downhill, nobody was stopping him one-on-one.
Dude was massive. What was he, 6'10"? 6'10" point guard?
Hey, so was Magic, man.
You're right.
Zolt said also discovered this was a team designed for the regular season. Winning using 10 to 11 guys doesn't translate in playoff wins. You're not wrong. Yeah, Zolt, I don't know if I think Jalen Duren getting that max contract is completely out of the door now.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was a disappearance act if I've ever seen one.
Yep. You can't play like that in a Game 7.
Oh, Anthony, there's a lot of matchups in this Knicks and Cavs series that I'm excited for. Trust that. But, yeah, Jalen Duren did not play well. I mean, this is a 30-plus point blowout. I mean, this was a game that was barely close. And this is with James Harden playing like crap. Imagine if James Harden...
Hey. Let's give James Harden some respect here. 1 turnover the whole game. That's the reason they won. Because James Harden didn't turn the ball over. Trust me, this game probably could have went a lot differently if James Harden did like a 7 or 8 turnover game. One of those ugly ones that we've seen him do in the past.
Oh, yeah. Well, trust me, James Harden has definitely had his moments, but... again, Cade looked like Cade gave everything he had to this playoff run. He ran out of gas. They need to prioritize getting him a number 2 scoring option that is more consistent. They have a bunch of solid role players. I would move off of Tobias Harris.
Oh, yeah.
Duren, I would love to keep the guy, but not on a max contract. I'm not using up one of my slots on him. Thompson is still such an elite defender that I'm not doing anything with him. I'm keeping him. Duncan Robinson, again, same thing. Good enough shooter, a guy you need to space the floor around Cade, but you need to upgrade in some areas. They need to add a secondary scoring punch with Cade because they don't have enough. That was the one thing I said about the Cavs and why I thought the Cavs had an advantage. Because if, just say Donovan Mitchell is the guy that can match Cade scoring, who's going to match James Harden? Who is going to match Evan Mobley? And no one did. And that's the big reason why they moved on. And when the Cavs started to get Mobley more involved on the offensive end of the floor, getting him more touches, getting him more opportunities, that's when they took this over. Because I said, as good as a defender Thompson is, he's a smaller guy compared to Evan Mobley. Tobias Harris is a power forward that really doesn't have the body of a power forward. Mobley can take advantage of this. And if they try Duren on him, then they're going to be leaving the paint occupied for Jared Allen to grab his offensive rebounds, which he's great at. And Mobley can take Duren out of the game on the perimeter and shoot the ball from 3. And then once again, the constant switching of Allen and Mobley on Duren is what took him out of the series. The biggest need for Detroit should strictly be, they're still going to be a great team defensively no matter what. They have to prioritize a secondary scoring option for Cade because they can't do it with just Cade by himself going nuts every night.
Yeah, I agree.
But now, let's move ahead into these conference finals. West kicks off tonight. Spurs, Thunder. No De'Aaron Fox game 1. Tyler, how do you feel about the series?
Well, it's the matchup we all wanted. We've been waiting
the real
for
NBA finals.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a classic, 1 versus 2. I really want to keep rolling with the Spurs. I love what they've done to rebuild this team from what it was. Had a lot of struggling, growing pains over the years, moving on from the old regime. Hopefully, tonight's game, they're not missing De'Aaron Fox too much. Obviously, I still think Wemby, he's going to be a big problem for the Thunder. I mean, they have no answer. Chet's not going to hold him.
I like that. Not only does Laurie provide a scoring punch next to Cade, he can also take away some of the playmaking duties because he has been a very damn solid ball handler in Utah.
Yeah.
And they're probably getting De'Banson anyway, so. Well, that's if the Wizards pass on him. But I don't think because the Wizards are the Wizards. Yeah, Anthony, I don't know. Shams tweeted like maybe 5-10 minutes before the show we started the show that he was out with an ankle sprain. Maybe he did it in warm. Maybe they were out there shooting around it this morning and he did something.
Probably, yeah.
Trust me, as two ex-basketball players, we can confirm you could twist your ankle at any time.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't feel good either.
Not at all.
Not fun. Not a fun injury to play through.
Especially when I break Sam's ankles.
You've never broken my ankles once. I'll tell you one thing. There is no tape. But I'll tell you one thing. I did mine once. I stepped on a guy's foot and came down and sprained mine.
Those are the worst.
No, the worst was trying to go back the next day and play when it's swollen. That was real fun.
Yeah.
I think I lasted maybe a game. Well, yeah, no, I mean, look, the Spurs took the seasons. They swept the Thunder in the regular season. Now, again, this is the regular season we're talking about, but Wemby is a mismatch for almost anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the head-to-head does matter. I get it, it's playoff basketball now, but, I mean, still the same teams playing each other. Would they play like 3 times throughout the year? Something like that, yeah. Around there. So, it's a pretty good sample size to see. I mean, the fact that they won 3 out of the 3 games, I think this series goes to 7.
Oh, I think this is easy going 7. And in terms of,
it's so tough to gauge this series because from the Thunder side, they don't have an answer to Wemby. From the Spurs side, they don't have an answer to Shea. So it really comes down to they're probably going to cancel each other out in most ways. It comes down to the supporting cast around them.
Yeah. And, you're thinking of De'Aaron Fox being out for game 1. So the question is, where do you get that production? It's going to be a big game for Dylan Harper, the former number 2 overall pick in the draft. He's had a pretty solid postseason so far. Can he step up in that moment tonight and be that guy? Now, and of course, you're going to need, you're going to need Keldon Johnson. You're going to need Castle. You're going to need everybody to step up in ways to make up for the void left from De'Aaron Fox tonight. And, of course, we'll have to monitor what his availability is for game 2. Maybe he comes off the bench in that game. I don't know. But
yeah, I'm assuming Harper he's the obvious.
Harper's going to start.
He's going to be in the starting lineup.
And he's played pretty well in the playoffs so far.
Yeah, he has. He's averaging
not bad.
13.7.
Not bad for a rookie coming in as the number 2 overall pick in the draft. And I believe Williams is back for OKC, so they're fully healthy. I think the biggest wild card, not wild card, but tone setter in this series has to be Chet Holmgren. They need somebody. Dude, throw him or Hartenstein on the defensive end. I don't care. Wemby's unguardable. I don't care which one of them it is. But they need a big to somewhat match Wemby on the offensive side. Chet not only can do that, he can space the floor. He could take. If there's a way the Thunder can, if there's something the Thunder can do really well in this series, they can take Wemby away from the basket. If you have Chet playing center, matching up with Wemby's minutes, barring Chet getting in the foul trouble on the defensive end, guarding Wemby, if you could stick Chet on the offensive side at center, you can pull him out, pull Wemby away from the basket, make him guard the perimeter, and that gives Williams and Shea and all these other guys chances to operate in the paint. We know how much Shea loves getting to the paint. It can really, that's one thing Oklahoma City can do well. They can take Wemby away from the paint, which if they match Chet up at center on the offensive side of the floor with him. Because Isaiah Hartenstein's been a very key contributor for this team the past 2 years, but again, he's not an offensive weapon. He's going to sit around the paint looking for offensive rebound opportunities. And with Victor Wembanyama, not many offensive rebounds come your way.
No, not quite.
So if I was Oklahoma City, I would 100% be looking to attack Wemby by getting him away from the paint. Can you get Chet Holmgren out there and put a mismatch where you get Wemby away from the paint? Because that alone, that would be big. Now, the game just started. Spurs are up 3 already. Because, Stephon Castle just drains another 3.
Of course he does.
Starters for the Spurs is Harper, Castle, Wemby, Vassell, and Champagning. Hartenstein and Holmgren are both starting. That's interesting. I guess that. Well, I'm saying Hartenstein will start the game. I'm not saying he wasn't going to start, but in the late game situations, barring foul issues, I would put Chet at center and roll out there with another wing like Wiggins or Jared McCain. That hurts.
I think they're probably more concerned with starting out, setting a tone, and not letting Wemby just get immediately. And as I say that, I think Wemby just got fouled shooting a 3-point shot. So, it was a deep 2.
Well, let's be real. I mean, Wemby just went up against one of the best defensive big men in the league, and Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
And Rudy had no answer for it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying about Hartenstein and Chet shutting down Wemby. They swept the Thunder for a reason. They are probably the Spurs are literally the same blueprint as the Thunder, a built up through the draft team that is young and hungry. That's literally the same thing, and they have a superstar, Shea, Wemby. It's the same thing. All I'm saying is the one thing that the Thunder need to do is focus on getting Wemby away from the rim so Shea and them have the room to attack. So late in games, if it's close, I would put Chet at center, take Hartenstein out of the game, put in a Jared McCain, someone who can shoot the ball really well from 3, and get Wemby away from the paint. That's the biggest thing in this series they can do is get Wemby away from the paint.
Well, so far, Wemby is on Hartenstein, and Wemby's just patrolling the paint, so...
Which exactly is my point.
Yeah,
and it's 7-0 San Antonio.
Exactly, yep. Yeah, your point exactly.
Hartenstein is a good defensive player, but again...
And look who got an offensive rebound against Chet. We might be seeing where this series is headed. I get it just tipped off, but... They got 2 big men on the floor, and there's no answer already for Wemby. Oh my gosh, don't tell me they go up again, dude.
You can have 5 7-footers on the floor with Wemby, and it's not going to matter.
Yeah, because they're still not tall enough.
All right, so what are your predictions for that series, Tyler?
You know what? I'm actually going to go San Antonio in 6.
He saw the first 5 minutes of
game. I did,
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm sold.
Yep.
Here's where I'm at. I'm going to go.
And he just drew a foul against Chet. This is not going to go well for them. It's
Again,
not.
most of my mismatch concerns I said was about the other side of the floor. Get Wemby out of the paint, and that's not
They're not going to
defensively.
do
They
it.
have
Honest, as long as Hartenstein's on the floor, they can't space it enough to bring out Wemby.
which is why I said get him
Yeah.
out of the game.
Well, we'll
I
see how
will
this
go.
goes.
I'm gonna go Thunder. I'll go Thunder in 7.
Ooh,
It, it,
107.
it's really just look. It's the Dodgers. It's the Patriots with Brady. I can't pick against you until I see you actually go down. So I would
Okay.
not be surprised if the Spurs win this series.
I could see it in 7.
But again, I'm going to go with the team right now with the pedigree that's won the championship, that's been in these situations right now. So I will go
Hey, don't
Thunder in
forget the
7.
Spurs still got someone up in that box that knows all about this.
Yay, the press box. Awesome.
Oh, he's worked a lot with this team. He's been at their practices. He's mentored some of these kids.
I know.
He was the first one to meet Wemby off the plane the game after he got ejected, too. So trust me, he's got his hands all over this team. He just can't keep up with being a full-time coach.
Anthony OKC actually just made a 3, so. And the Spurs made one right back.
Yep.
Alex Caruso came in off the bench already and said, yeah, let's get this.
Yep. And guess who they pulled off the floor? Hartenstein. And they saw that not working immediately.
You have to match up with who you're going against. It's too easy.
Exactly. Yeah.
It breaks.
That's their shot of winning. They need to force Wemby to follow Chet to the perimeter. Only shot they have.
Yeah, because Hartenstein is not going to provide them enough. Oh, good. This game's actually on TV. I can actually turn it on. Awesome.
Yeah,
No Amazon
not
Prime.
on Amazon Prime.
That is so. How do you like? The NBA is such a dime product. You put a game. No, I'm not talking about that. You have a game 7 of an NBA playoff series. Not only is it at 8:00 on a Sunday, which, by the way, I don't know about you guys. Sunday nights for me is unwinding night. I have to be. I unwind. I get myself prepared for bed and just get ready for the work week. I don't know who's watching a game 7 at 8:00 at night on a Sunday, only on Amazon Prime. What are we doing? Dude, this Spurs team defensively is so good. They defend as a team well. This is literally like two juggernauts going at it. Oh my God. What a block. And it's not even from Wemby.
Oh.
Wemby's like, damn, I wouldn't even need to jump for that. Wemby just, clamp. All right, Tyler, let's go over to the Knicks and Cavs. How do you feel about this series?
Knicks and 6. And the reason why I say Knicks and 6, I agree with what you said earlier with they don't match up ideally. I say ideally because still the combo of Mobley and Allen, if they can put that together and just focus on that night in, night out, that would give them a slight advantage. But then again, the Knicks could always respond to that by throwing Mitchell Robinson out on the floor with Cat.
Yeah, but then you're really making it an awkward offensive fit.
Yeah, because Mitchell Robinson is not a floor spacer.
No. I mean, Cat is, but Robinson's not really a post guy. He's just a run, jump, and dunk center. So.
Exactly. Rebound, defend. But, yeah, the Knicks are a really good team.
They are.
I think the Cavs, they'll have their moments. That's why I think they'll take a couple of games. I think they'll probably steal one out of New York. They'll win one at home, but ultimately, I think they'll fall in 6 to the Knicks.
I'm going to go Knicks in 6 as well. The Cavs, I think Donovan Mitchell will be fine. I think Mobley and Allen will provide a very big issue for Cat. something that both Atlanta and Philly couldn't. I mean, Atlanta doesn't have a big that can compete with Cat, and Joel just looked completely overmatched against him. So I think they'll give him an issue. The biggest concern, where I give the Knicks the advantage, Mitchell and Harden are two guards that can wear you down. However, the Knicks have so much depth at wing, they can throw like 5 guys at them. They could throw McBride, they could throw Alvarado, they could throw Josh Hart, they could throw OG, they could throw Mikal Bridges. They are so long and lengthy. That's how it is. I just think that's the case there. Pitch Grid, what's up, buddy?
What's going on?
I just think that the Knicks, with the depth, and the Cavs don't have wings that are consistent enough. I think Sam Merrill, is Sam Merrill going to make 7 threes every game? No. Him and Dean Wade are good spotty shooters. I like them a lot. Tyson, who had a really good regular season, offensively in the playoffs, has not been good. He's basically lost his rotation spot. One of those wings has to be better than what they've been. They have to get better. Strus is the only one I trust. I'm not even putting him in the conversations. I trust him. But again, the Knicks have. I mean, dude, the Knicks. Do you see the Knicks 3-point shooting in the playoffs? Yeah. They are shooting out of their minds. They made 25 threes against the Sixers in Game 4. They scored 75 points from behind the 3-point line. They are amazing. And we talked about this in the Pistons series. If you thought Cade Cunningham was a pain to guard, who's guarding? Which one out of Harden and Mitchell? Who's guarding Jalen Brunson?
The question is, who tries to slow down Jalen Brunson? No one's guarding. That is true.
And I like this comment from Anthony. Is this the same Knicks team last year? Anthony, I'm just going to say this. I don't know if it is, but I think that Pacers team last year was a hell of a lot better than this Cavs team. But I do see your point, though. It is coached by Mike Brown. I'm not saying that Thibodeau was a bad coach. I just don't know how much of a great playoff coach Mike Brown really is. Yeah. We've seen his failures as well.
Anthony's follow-up, he doesn't trust Cat. Well, I don't trust James Harden.
Yeah, let's say I don't trust James Harden. Like, each team has a superstar that we don't trust here.
Yeah. Because you could easily say if James Harden gets you consistently, let's say 18 plus a game, decent, percentage shooting, not turning the ball over a lot, you can make the case that they do beat the Knicks.
Yeah, and Pitch Grid, I agree. I think the Knicks are the better team than Cleveland, but I have a fear that the NBA champion is.
The champ is on the screen right here. One of these two teams.
Unless the Knicks just have record shooting numbers like they did from 3 against the Knicks and against the Knicks. Yeah, the Knicks against the Knicks. That makes sense. Against the Hawks and the Sixers. Well. Oh, Anthony, in the playoffs, he's very little. Trust me, as a Sixers fan, I have witnessed my fair share of that. I just watched Alex Caruso steal the ball in front of Victor Wembanyama. What in the world?
Say, who's going to tell Alex Caruso that his headband, the Nike logo's upside down?
Anthony, here's the thing, though. Cat's role is to be a floor spacing big guy. Now, I will say,
he's always been an excellent scorer. He's never been a physical threat defensively.
No, and he's not he used to be. I mean, when I watched him in Kentucky all those years ago, he was a back-to-the-basket guy. He was a big. Remember him? Like Willie Cauley-Stein were problems in Kentucky. But Cat has always just been a floor spacing big. And look, the reason this is why the Knicks have been so successful, because this gives Brunson all the room to operate in the mid-range area. Same thing for Bridges. Anunoby and them are going to knock down threes. If the Knicks shoot the way that they've shot so far this postseason, they could oust the Cavs in 5.
Oh, yeah.
And again, like you said, I don't trust James Harden in a playoff series. Donovan Mitchell, I trust more. I just don't know how much more. He didn't shoot very well against the Pistons either. But again, one of these two is going to be tasked with guarding Jalen Brunson. And good luck with that. Because they don't have the wings that the Knicks do. Like I said, the Knicks can throw. At worst, McBride is your fifth. But then if you look at the defenders from that down, Brunson, solid defender, little undersized at 6'2". But outside of that, Anunoby, elite defender. Bridges, really good defender. Hart, gritty defender. Alvarado, annoying defender. If I was an NBA player, I want to punch him because he's so annoying. But they have got wings and guard defenders that you can throw at both of Harden and Mitchell, and it's going to exhaust them. I think the Cavs have a slight front court advantage, but OG has proven he can go up against big power forwards like Mobley. He's proven he can. Now, there's something else you have to monitor. What's the health of OG's hamstring injury?
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. They've had a lot of time off. So it's helped him a lot. But a hamstring injury doesn't go away in a couple of weeks. That's usually about a month.
Yep.
So do they start him off the bench?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get game one's most likely going to be the feeling out game. You know, you're going to have to see, you know, you got to obviously take it easy with OG. You don't want to rush him out there, play him most of the game, and then, you know, you lose him for the rest of the series. Or even a few games out of the series.
Yeah.
So maybe it would be a smart idea. Start him off the bench. Or if you do put him in the starting lineup, limit his minutes throughout game one. See how the team performs and responds. Try to keep him healthy.
All right, so Anthony wants to know who's the X factor for the Knicks, who's the X factor for Cleveland.
X factor for the Knicks is Cat showing up. X factor for the Cavs is James Harden showing up. You know what? That's too easy. I'll say for the Cavs, it's Donovan Mitchell shooting efficiently.
For the Cavs, for me, it's Sam Merrill, Dean Wade, and Tyson. One of those three has got to provide. And look, they're not going to be able to defend the Knicks' wings. They're too long, they're too lengthy, they're too good. They have to knock down 3-point shots. Max Strus can only knock down so many shots by himself. I'm not worried about Mobley. I'm not worried about Allen doing their job in the front court. I'm not worried about Mitchell. Harden, I'm very worried about, but that's just another story for another day. Not Daryl Morey wasn't a liar, but he was a smart man. But for that one, it's at least. But I don't know if the Cavs have the consistent wing depth to contest with Hart, Alvarado, Anunoby, Bridges. They need one of those three that I just mentioned to be consistent on at least the offensive side of the floor. They have to knock down their 3-point shots. For the Knicks, I'm gonna go with Deuce McBride because you know what? As good as the Knicks starting five is, they are gonna have their hands full. Cat's gonna have and OG are gonna have their hands full with Allen and Mobley. Harden and Mitchell are still two of the best offensive scoring guards that in the NBA, and they're gonna have their hands full with them. I'm sure Bridges and Brunson. And I think they're going to need a consistent scoring pop off the bench, and I think McBride can provide that. And if he has a series like he did against Philly, then I think that it's a very big one. I think him and Mitchell Robinson too, because I'm sure Cat's going to get in foul trouble against one of these two. So they're going to need Mitchell. So for the Knicks, it's going to be their second unit. They need to give them quality minutes like they've been doing so far this whole postseason. So I'll go Knicks bench for the New York and Cavs other wings not named Max Strus, because Strus at least is going to shoot the ball well from three. But Merrill, Wade, or Tyson, one of them has to do something in this series if the Cavs want to win it. But I'm still sticking to my gun. I'm going with the Knicks winning in 6 games.
Yeah, Knicks in 6.
Yeah, I'm very confident leaning that way. No, we got a ball game now.
Oh yeah.
We got a 3-point. Did you really expect OKC to come out slow?
Oh yeah, with Hartenstein, yeah, they did. And then they
Oh, yeah.
quickly realized, this isn't going to work, guys.
Look, see? Chet's
Yep.
in the corner. There's no one at the end. They're still shooting threes. Attack, man. Wemby's not in the paint. Go to the cup. This is where you got to go to the cup. Dude, he towers over Chet Holmgren, who's like 7 foot.
Yeah. It's crazy.
This dude is not fair. He should get fined for how tall he is. Like, look at Caruso on him in this replay. Wow, okay, give Caruso credit for this play, actually. Holy crap. But, like, my God. You know, before we switch topics, I will say one of the most underrated trades in the NBA was a couple years ago when the Thunder realized they needed a defender on the wing, a decent spot-up shooter, and a gritty guy on the defensive side. Trading Josh Giddey for Alex Caruso was one of the most underrated trades in the past couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
He is exactly what the Thunder needed. Speaking of pains in the behind, let's switch over to the NFL, Tyler. We have some NFL news we got to talk about that went off over the weekend.
Yeah, if you need to talk about it.
Well, look, we are here for the people.
We are. All the Steelers fans, we're here for you.
Aaron Rodgers. And yes, the deal was officially signed this afternoon, so he is officially back. Back to the Steelers. It's a 1-year deal that includes $22 million guaranteed. It can go up to $25 million with incentives. Back in Pittsburgh for another year. Reunited with Mike McCarthy after all those years. Tyler, where do you see the Steelers in the AFC North now that Aaron Rodgers is back in the fold here, I'll say?
AFC North.
It's a good division.
It is. You know, you're expecting a healthy year out of Lamar, Burrow, and then you got the Cleveland Browns. Whatever they're going to do, they'll be in 4th place. Sorry, Cleveland fans.
Still a lot of talent.
They do. A lot of talent. And hey, you know what? Making the coaching change finally. Maybe things take a turn for the better. We'll see. But the Pittsburgh Steelers, this was the ideal move. You know, you go and you make the trade, you bring in Pittman. You go into the draft, you strengthen up your offensive line a little more. You draft Jeremy Bernard from Alabama. They got weapons on the offensive side of the ball. The biggest question mark was, what are you going to do for quarterback? Are you going to start a second-year Will Howard, who played behind Rodgers, off of the bench last year? You're definitely not going to go with the 3rd-round pick Drew Aller, who's being rebuilt by Mike McCarthy. So this is the ideal situation. Rodgers gets a familiar, good scenario where he should succeed with this offense. We all know they always put together a good defense as well. It's going to be interesting, though, to see how this team looks, not coached by Mike Tomlin. It feels crazy saying that.
It does.
He was probably the longest tenured coach in this last couple decades.
Yeah. Him and Harbaugh were the longest tenured, and they both gone now.
Yeah. So the reason why it's such a good situation is your quarterback room was not ready. I think Drew Aller has a lot of potential. I don't mind the whole articles of rebuilding everything he knew from Penn State. They didn't teach him much over at Penn State. That's fine. Letting him play behind Will Howard, playing behind Aaron Rodgers, getting the knowledge from him, a guy who McCarthy built into the player that he is. He might be able to replicate the same thing. Aaron Rodgers may be passing off that torch to Drew Aller next year. Maybe he won't be ready by next year, but we'll wait and cross that bridge when we get there. But this was the perfect scenario. Let Rodgers come back, have another good season, see if they can go on a playoff run, and set themselves up for the future of the franchise.
And I mean, like you brought up earlier, they brought in Michael Pittman, the pair opposite of DK. They brought Bernard in from the draft. They signed Rico Dowdle to pair him with Jalen Warren in that backfield. They still have Pat Fryermuth, who helped me become $5 richer last year. Thanks, Pat. Appreciate you, buddy. They have Darnell Washington, who's probably going to take over that Jonnu Smith role, or whatever you want to call it.
He was their lead tight end last year before he got hurt.
And then Pat Fryermuth. Then Penn Staters coming alive. Thanks, Pat. Appreciate you, man. Best Zell payment I got my whole life.
We're re-upping that bet. I'm taking Darnell Washington this year.
Oh, I thought we were going to find a new one.
Nah, I'll run it back with Darnell.
You want to run this back again? All right, anyway. But I got nothing for you. Let's look at something with the Steelers here. Mike McCarthy comes in. Yeah, out of the league for a little bit, a couple years after his time in Dallas. Experienced head coach. He's coached a lot of big football games. Former Super Bowl champion. Yes, he's probably in that territory of hanging on to that Super Bowl ring like Tomlin was, 100%.
Yep.
But Mike McCarthy, established NFL head coach. Todd Monken in Cleveland, established assistant coach, never a head coach.
Yeah.
Zach Taylor. That's it, Zach Taylor. Jesse Minter, rookie head coach. Is this the best shot that we possibly have of seeing the Steelers finding a way to win the AFC North?
Might be. I mean, Zach Taylor being the most tenured coach in this division.
Yeah,
that's not saying much. That's not saying much at all. He's the guy I'm shocked has kept his job as long as he has.
I'm not, because Bengals ownership is so cheap, they'll never want to pay more money for a head coach anyway.
Yeah, good point.
And again, you brought it up. Going into the year with Will Howard, oh my God, with that offense, that's not a bad offense. Pittman, Metcalf, and Bernard, there's a lot of teams that wish they had those guys as their three wide receivers. They still have a solid defense. They brought in help there as well. But if you look, Aaron Rodgers last year wasn't bad. It's just the Steelers have been such an anemic offensive team for decades. Aaron Rodgers last year still completed 65.7% of his passes. He had a 94.8 passer rating. He threw for over 3,300 yards, and he still had 24 touchdowns and 7 interceptions at 42 years old. Is he a pain in the rear end? Absolutely. But for right now, until the Steelers figure out what their quarterback future is that Drew Aller? I don't know. He is at least a good stopgap. And for Drew Aller, like they said, to completely reset his mind of a quarterback, Peter Bork just committed, the 5-star quarterback recruit, Peter Bork just committed to Virginia Tech. Guarantee you he hits the portal within 2 years. Guarantee you he's hitting the portal.
How did they land a 5-star quarterback?
Because look, certain guys can sell a tank off a used car lot, okay?
Right.
This is coming from a guy who is the fan of Michigan. This is literally a Big Ten rival saying this. Aller has everything you want in a quarterback, just has to teach him footwork, timing, reading defenses, touch, and accuracy. Yeah, and so honestly, deep ball accuracy is pretty damn solid. It's everything in between then. But again, the guy who took over from James Franklin, Terry Smith, literally said this in an interview. He was a deep ball down the field quarterback who we tried to turn into a game manager.
Yeah.
What was that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dear God.
Wow.
I
detect no lies here.
I'm not saying that. McCarthy is
McCarthy's
definitely not
fine.
one of the top. He's fine. Will they be somewhat better offensively this year? You would hope. I mean, he has had more recent offensive success in the NFL than Tomlin. I mean,
Yeah.
Dallas's
I
offenses
will
under McCarthy
say
are pretty.
I have a lot more confidence in McCarthy helping to develop a quarterback than Mike Tomlin.
Again, no argument whatsoever. But yeah, I do. And again, not only does Aller get to basically have a reset in Pittsburgh, gets to learn basically how to be a quarterback all over again. My God, James Franklin screwed this kid up.
He did. He really did.
I am so happy that Matt Campbell is my head coach now. I cannot wait for Penn State football. This is the first year in like 5 years. I am like so legitimately excited that I get to watch something new.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention our 2027 recruit class is looking pretty damn solid for a team, for a coach. Again, the recruit class it was strict from nothing all the way up to right now. The 2027 Penn State recruit class is top 5 in the country.
Wow.
For a head coach that hasn't even coached a game at the damn school yet.
Yeah, that's the most impressive part.
And it ain't over yet. They're still waiting on they're still looking at some of the
Oh, yeah.
higher end wide receiver recruits.
Mm-hmm.
They did just lose out on a 4-star offensive tackle who went to Auburn, but Penn State was still listed in his top 4 before he made his decision, but they were more the favorites before Franklin left. So it was nice that he stayed, kept the school within reach, but after Franklin left, it didn't seem like he was going to come here.
Yeah.
But not only does Drew Aller get to sit back, get developed from Mike McCarthy, again, I'm not sure how much of a quarterback teacher he wants to be in this portion of his career, but the fact that you get to sit back and watch a guy like Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers for your
That's the
first year,
thing. Even if he's not willing to mentor him, you still get to watch him. He can't turn invisible.
yeah. Anthony, we do not play Oregon or Ohio State this year coming up. We only have our biggest games are Michigan and Ann Arbor, which, oh God, that could be ugly. But hey, both programs are in transition. Both are coming in with new staffs, and I think we have USC at home. But we don't play Oregon or Ohio State
Okay.
this year. Thank God. I need a breather from the Buckeyes. I can't stand it. I'm sick of losing to them. I need a breather. I can't look at Ryan Day for a year. It's okay. It's okay. Jeremiah Smith can't cook me. But even though I will say we actually defend Jeremiah Smith pretty well in our matchups with Ohio State.
Yeah.
It's just then you watch 4 straight plays from the 1-yard line and us not be able to get a yard. Thanks, James.
Mm-hmm.
But, I think the Steelers have a legit shot here, possibly getting. They may be the favorites in the North because, again, McCarthy, established head coach, older head coach, yes, been out of the league for a couple of years, probably basically almost the same thing as Mike Tomlin, holding on to that one Super Bowl victory, but more recent offensive success than Tomlin. And again, Todd Monken, good assistant coach for a long time, first time head coach, no legit answer at quarterback. Bengals are the Bengals with that offensive line still. I think the Bengals have a chance to be a threat in the North if they are healthy. But
If
and
Joe
then
Burrow is
again,
healthy.
and then again, Jesse Minter, rookie head coach. Baltimore, I think, has the talent as well. But again, I haven't seen Jesse Minter coach a game yet.
Yep.
I think this makes them a legit threat. I think it makes the Steelers a chance that they could win the North this year. I don't know how you feel about it, but that's where I'm at.
I think they can. I mean, I think another team that's going to really make that comeback, the bounce back from last year, it's definitely the Ravens. I mean,
Minter just embodies what I feel like Ravens football is, and
yeah.
that's just downright defensively nuts because
Last year they were very banged up.
and let's be real, they haven't really been great defensively in a couple of years, and that is not Ravens football.
Exactly.
That's just not Ravens football. But yeah, look, I'm glad that Rodgers came back. I think the Steelers needed him for another year, gives them time to develop their young quarterbacks. Because, and that's the thing with Drew Aller. We're talking about him so much. I think Will Howard could be a somewhat productive NFL quarterback. I mean, I know he's not the most athletic. The traits don't fly off the board. The guy won a national title at Ohio State. I watched him make almost every throw in the NFL.
I think he could be a very good kind of, I don't want to call it, maybe game changer.
He could be a fringe game manager.
Yeah.
I think Aller's ceiling is higher, clearly. I think Aller's a top 10 pick in this year's draft.
He has the raw talent of a strong arm.
Aller could have been a top 10 draft pick if he had a head coach with common sense. If Drew Aller would have stayed home in the state of Ohio and went to Ohio State, he's a top 10 pick.
Well, I was going to actually just say, yeah. If he went to Ohio State, probably would have been drafted top 10.
I'll tell you, he's probably going top 5. Honestly,
if he went to Ohio State, they've had over the years too.
Hold on. Ooh. If he goes to Ohio State, there's a chance he is the best quarterback in the draft.
Oh yeah.
No disrespect to Mendoza, but Drew Aller has that type of talent that I think he could be a really special player with the right coaching. Like I said, guys, Steeler fans, do not take away from what you got in the third round. James Franklin ruined this kid at Penn State,
yeah,
and he still had multiple. And he still had multiple records at Penn State, even given all that stuff that happened.
Their best third round pick, Gennings Dunker.
Bills come back, win 5-4 over the Reds. Let's go. Bryson Stott, the go-ahead 2-run homer in the 8th. But yeah, I think that, again, I think the Steelers are in good shape now. Rodgers back at the helm. Offense has added more weapons. I mean, DK last year was fine, but he was really the only wide receiver that scared you.
Yeah.
Now you get to go in.
When he got suspended, they couldn't do anything.
No, and they don't have the offensive coach to say, hey, we have 3 really solid tight ends. Let's try some 3 tight end sets. No. But no, you've added Michael Pittman, who is a perfect wide receiver too. You add Bernard, who will probably play a lot of slot. Rico Dowdle is the perfect running back to complement Warren. I know they like Warren. I think Dowdle's the better runner. I mean, we saw what he did in Carolina last year when they adapted that run-first attack with him and Chuba. That's how the Panthers got to the playoffs. I really think Carolina should have maintained more of trying to keep him. I know they drafted Jonathan Brooks, but he has had 2 ACL tears in 2 years. I'm not
they were hesitant because they had just paid Chuba last year.
Okay, that's fine. You can still have 2 really solid running backs.
But to pay them good money for both,
he didn't break them. You act like Dowdle got Saquon Barkley money.
I know, but still. They got other things they need to do just besides running the football.
Dowdle's hold on. Oh, a second. I'm going to find this because I'm not. Where is the contract? I need to know what his contract was. I can't find it. But it wasn't a lot of money they gave Rico. It really wasn't. Speaking of running backs and money, Dolphins, De'Von Achane, 4 years, $68 million. That includes $32 million guaranteed. That's $17 million a year. So yeah, Breece Hall, congratulations for being the 3rd highest paid running back for about a week.
Basically.
What are your thoughts on this?
I'm going to be the negative one who says I feel like they paid him too soon. I feel like they should have tried to hold out one more year because Go back to his rookie season, 2023. He was a standout. He was insane. He got hurt. Followed that up 2024, played all 17 games, 900 yards, didn't break 1,000. Had a decent season, though. In 2025, he really broke out. Played 16 games, 1,350 yards on the ground, 8 rushing touchdowns, had another 488 through the air. So, yes, based off of this last season, he did earn the contract. I still feel like the Dolphins maybe should have held off a year, but then they run the risk of if you wait another year and he has another huge year, then he
You're
might
going to lose it. Then
reset.
you're going to
He
lose
might
him next
reset the
March.
market. Yeah, you might lose him, or you're going to have to pay a lot of money to keep him.
Well, here's the thing. He's a free agent coming up this March before the contract. So they had to get this deal done now. It was either now or you risk him leaving next March in free agency. Number one, the Dolphins are in clear rebuild mode. So is paying all this resources to a running back smart business? They have no wide receivers. They have Malik Willis as their quarterback. Where is their offense coming from? It's going to be through De'Von Achane.
Yeah.
And again, he's 24 years old. They still view him as a very significant part of their future. So why not resource the money now so when you do find your quarterback of the future and he's on a rookie deal, you have the running back in place. And it's not like he's just a one-trick pony. He's a great pass catcher out of the backfield.
Oh, yeah.
Good runner. He's a playmaker. He put the football in his hands. He could take it to the house in one play, and that's it. So I'm not going to say that it's a bad it's I don't know if it's the greatest move for a team that is in a full-on rebuild to pay a running back.
Yeah.
I also think that if you would have moved him, you could have got a decent amount of assets in return. But I understand it for a team who doesn't have a lot. The cupboard is very bare in terms of offensive playmakers in Miami. It's Malik Washington, and that's about it. I mean, they did draft Chris Bell.
They
the
got
wide receiver from
Jalen Tolbert. He might get you like 500. Maybe that was with the Cowboys. Maybe drop that estimate down to like 300.
Yeah, put like 350 on that timeline, shall we? So, I mean, and again, I mean, they signed Tutu Atwell. Oh, Jesus God, this team is so in trouble.
Yeah.
Terrace Marshall, are you kidding? What are we doing?
They're screwed.
So again, but no, they drafted Chris Bell out of Louisville. You remember how high I was on him during the draft process. If he's fully recovered from that ACL, I think he could be a top 5 wide receiver talent in this draft. That's a lot to ask of a third round rookie.
Yeah.
They don't have, like I said, the cupboard is very bare in terms of offensive weapons. I understand paying the running back. I don't understand when you're rebuilding like that, that's where it gets kind of murky and kind of tricky. So it does get kind of weird like with that. So, but again, you're not going to have much to root for this year. You don't want to lose all your playmakers. I mean, you lost Tyreek, you traded Waddle, you used all those draft picks to accumulate something with Chris Bell. Achane still is a young running back. He's 24 years old. He was going to need a contract at the end of the year anyway.
Yeah.
He is still he's still a very fun running back who makes plays when the ball is in his hands. He's a dual threat back. I get paying him, but for a team in Miami situation, I find it very strange because you're in a full-on rebuild. Do you really want to command that money now? But again, the Dolphins are probably thinking, look, we're going to be bad anyway, so we're probably going to be picking high for a quarterback soon. Why not pay the running back now? So when the quarterback comes here, we have a run game to solidify when he's here. So, because Malik Willis is a placeholder, we know that. He's not the future quarterback unless he has some type of
Daniel Jones here. Good luck with no wide receivers.
Exactly. Like, unless Malik Willis has some type of Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones revenge toward his body, I don't see that happening.
Dude, how many points does Caruso have in this game so far? What the heck?
Probably like 15.
All I just see is him shooting threes nonstop.
I want to go backtrack real quick. Anthony had a good question earlier for us that I want to get to.
Do you think off the bench?
I told you. Josh Giddey for Caruso, one of the most underrated trades of our time in the NBA. So real quickly, Anthony asks, do you think if Lamar doesn't have a good season, his time in Baltimore might be up soon in 2 or 3 years?
I need a definition. What's not a good season? Are we talking like a
Like,
win-loss aspect, stats aspect? Like where are we gauging this from? Because don't forget, they were in contract negotiations, but I think Lamar said he's going to wait until next year. He's going to play through the rest of his deal.
I mean, Lamar is coming off a year where he played 13 games. He only threw for 2,500 yards, 21 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. He's honestly only had like one really, really elite season.
I would still say 2023 too. You can't. The 2023 season was a very solid season. Almost
Yeah, that's
3,700, 24 passing touchdowns, 7 interceptions.
yeah, I'm not taking anything away from that, but I mean, outside of 24, 25, I mean, we're looking at very solid seasons. I'm not looking at
Yeah,
eventually
but
there has to be some pressure on Lamar Jackson here.
yeah, it'll also come down to what he always offers on the ground as well.
How long is that going to last, though? We know the
That's
story
a
with
good
mobile
question.
quarterbacks.
Yeah, and you could attribute his injuries this year for the time he missed to him being a mobile quarterback. So maybe he does try to work towards revamping his game more, not trying to run for 800, 900 yards in a season, tempering it back a little bit, still make the plays when you need to, but not have that be a huge part of your game. But then I worry, where does that leave the Ravens offense if he isn't that elite dual threat?
Oh, it takes an element out of it, but maybe maybe there is a part of them that is starting to look into this. Maybe that they are going to possibly not have that dual threat element because they put a lot more emphasis on getting pass catchers in this year than they have had in a while.
Yeah, Jacoby
Like
Lane, Elijah Surratt,
Elijah Surratt, they still have Derrick Henry, you still have Zay Flowers, you still have Mark Andrews.
still have
There is
Rashad Bateman.
definitely still have Rashad Bateman.
He hasn't really, hit his ceiling. He hasn't even come close to a ceiling, actually.
No, he hasn't.
He's been very disappointing for them.
And Anthony, I agree. Like, Lamar's won MVP awards. Like, yeah, he's an MVP every year, but he's not getting to. Again, I'm holding it to the same standard as Josh Allen. Where are you in the playoffs when you're needed?
Yeah. Where's your Super Bowl appearance?
You were the number 1 seed in the AFC Championship game a couple years ago, and you folded on your home field. Like, that's your playoff snafu right now. You were the number 1 seed in the AFC. Mahomes or not, you folded. So eventually something's got to give. Now, do you give a little bit of an excuse this year? Oh, rookie head coach, new coaching staff. I'm sorry, no. Because there is another quarterback in this league that's accomplished way more and is held to a ridiculous standard. And we just talked about it on Friday night. I'm not going to get into it like we did last Friday, but he is held to a ridiculous standard when other guys with so-called more talent, more accolades, more accomplishments, and they don't get done what he does. That's my problem.
Yep.
I'm going to keep it a buck with you on every quarterback. Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen are 2 of the biggest playoff choke artists in the NFL until I am proven otherwise.
What about Justin Herbert?
Herbert,
the guy who's supposed to be, the top 5 quarterback in the league.
Justin Herbert's not even on the level of Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, and I'm gonna keep that a buck. He's got the talent to be, but dude, his playoff games are not that's not choking. That's just flat out.
That's just not showing up.
Like, C.J. Stroud has thrown 4 picks in playoff games and won. Like, that is just bad. Like, Justin Herbert is not, he doesn't choke in the playoffs. He's just a bad playoff quarterback as of right now.
Yeah.
Like, he's just bad. Like, there's no defending. But Colin Cowherd has him number 4 in his top 10 quarterbacks in 2026. Okay, Colin. Top 4. Guy hasn't even gotten to the second round of the playoffs yet.
Yeah.
Knock it off. And back to, like, I want to answer Anthony's question. I don't know. Like, I don't think Lamar's on the outs in Baltimore in a couple of years. I mean, wait, how old is Lamar? Oh, he's 29.
Man, time just creeps up on you quick, don't it?
Yeah, Anthony, and look, Joe Burrow he went to that Super Bowl in 2021, not getting back there. I don't know how much that is his fault. I mean, he has been banged up. So, I mean, your best ability is availability, but when you have an offensive line like Joe Burrow's, I don't know how available you could be. But I think we could agree, Burrow with a healthy offensive line and a defense that doesn't look like it plays in a middle school, I think he would be fine. Joe Burrow is still the only other. There are only 2 quarterbacks in this league that I could feel solely confident that they could beat Patrick Mahomes in a big game. Jalen Hurts and Joe Burrow. The others have not proven it once.
Yeah. You're right.
That's the problem that I have. If it's not Jalen Hurts and it's not Joe Burrow, who has ever going to dethrone Patrick Mahomes in a big game? Josh Allen can't do it. Lamar Jackson can't do it. Justin Herbert will never have the opportunity to do it.
He'll never get close enough because he can't get out the wild card round.
Dalton, what's up, brother?
What's going on, Dalton?
If anybody who didn't get the chance to watch Birds of the Gridiron last Friday, Dalton was on with us, and it was an awesome show. Probably the best episode of Birds we've done. But yeah, so like eventually, like that's the thing. We got to. I don't care about MVPs a guy wins. LeBron James has won multiple MVPs, but is still scrutinized for only having 4 championships. Exactly. Eventually, somebody is going to have to sit. That is what the name of this show. This is exactly why the show that we are doing right now is called what it is, because we just clamor over these regular season gurus like Josh Allen and like Lamar Jackson, who are 2 of the 5 best quarterbacks in the league. I am not taking that away from them. But the fact that we put these guys over guys like Matthew Stafford is a joke.
Yeah.
If Matthew Stafford wins one more Super Bowl, he's a first ballot Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah. I think he already is without it.
I think he already is now. But if he does win another one, he's probably one of the best quarterbacks of all time. From a numbers perspective.
From a numbers perspective.
From a pure numbers perspective, he has done a very solid damn job. And we still put guys that fail season in and season out, and we just continue to do it.
Oh, yeah.
We just continue to put these 2 guys at the head of the table when they haven't even... Look, the only way to get to the head of the table, you got to go bring the family the meal. Well, these guys don't get the family the meal. They are the meal that gets fed to the family. Because every year, against the same guy, they fail.
Mm-hmm.
But the guys that have taken out Mahomes in the big games, they get nothing. And like I said, Joe Burrow, it's not all his fault. The ownership in Cincinnati is a joke. They don't spend. The defense is a joke. I think it could be better this year. The O-line, we still have to see how it looks.
Yeah.
But the Bengals are still, again, they were the only team that have either beaten the Chiefs or came close. Jalen Hurts is the only quarterback not named Tom Brady to beat Patrick Mahomes in a Super Bowl. But Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen are just so much better than these guys. Well, you can put 4,000 yards all you want. I don't care. If you fail in the playoffs every year, what does it matter?
I don't know. Ask Cowboys fans.
Yeah, well, he's another one. Our top 10 quarterbacks list going into the summer is going to be very interesting. I'm very interested to see what we have as our top 10s, and they're going to be very different.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a very interesting time. But anyway, outside of all that, Tyler, I think I covered everything I wanted to get out tonight. What about you?
Yeah, that's about all I got.
Awesome
Counting down the
show.
season.
Yep. I mean, hey, it's almost June. Training camp starts in July. Next thing you know, it'll be preseason. And next thing we know, we'll be ready for week 1, 425 against the Commanders. With that being said, everybody, thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. Thank you everyone who commented along tonight. Appreciate you guys always coming on here, chatting with us. The comments, of course, make the show. Wouldn't have it without you guys. Back to, once again, another week, another normal schedule. DA After Dark live tomorrow night. We'll give you all the late night sports talk that you need. Dustin and I will be back Wednesday morning for Hitting Home, giving some baseball talk. Probably going to talk a lot of Phils this week. 16-4 now under Don Mattingly, so we'll talk about that. We'll also do another segment called Beat the Grid, which we debuted last week. Very fun little segment. And then, of course, Birds of the Gridiron will be back live on Friday at 8. We'll have some fun topics for you guys this week. So, guys, thank you all for joining us tonight. We hope you enjoyed tonight's show. If you didn't get a chance to catch it live, always can go back on the 609 Sports Talk Radio YouTube and Facebook chat pages and go check it out. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button. We're building something special over here. And once again, thank you all who always pick us for your sports talk. We greatly appreciate it. With that being said, though, we are going to call it a night. Anthony has one more comment before we go. What we got here, Anthony? Oh, my God. There you go, Anthony. But, guys, thank you all so much for joining us tonight. Have a great rest of your Monday. We'll see you guys tomorrow night for DA After Dark. For Tyler Adams, I am Sam Nelson. Good night, everybody.
The following has been a presentation of 609 Sports Talk Radio.